and causing trouble. So we were limited what we could pay them. They did eat their lunch on the base, and that was provided. But you asked about other personnel. In the mess hall, we had our cooks that were there, but nobody pulled KP. Civilians took care of that. The officers were in the front quarter of the mess hall, in the back quarters where they fixed the meals. Middle section is where all the chairs were, where the enlisted personnel and stuff like that ate. We were in the front, and there was a small square piece of paper laying at your place. You went in, sat down, picked up the pencil, and checked off what was on the menu that you wanted. They come, picked up the paper. They got the food from the kitchen or went through the line or whatever, I don't know, and brought the food up to us. And when we were through eating, we just got up and left, and everything was cleared and cleaned, and that's what it was. But officers are a little different, too. Our meals aren't free. After you go through flight school and that, you're given a certain amount. Well, first off, you're given so much for your uniforms. That's a one-time thing. And after that, you're required to provide your own uniforms. And food, if you go to the mess hall, you could buy it. And I'm trying to remember what it was at the time, but it was something stupid. It was under $1.50 a day or something. And it was like 35 cents for a meal. And they kept track of it. And it was deducted from your pay. So when you got your pay, it showed how much you paid for meals there. But if you wanted to go to the O Club, or if you wanted to fix something in your room or buy stuff at the PX, it was up to you, because you're pretty much on your own. But officers, again, being a different group too. The guys referred to RHIP, rank has its privilege, and they think it's cool that you can just cut corners on a lot of these things. But like, it was the officer, the group commander at 6th of the 14th. When I was first up there, he flew me to where I went right through dinner. And I didn't make a whole lot of complaints to him. But then later I let him know that military reg says I'm to get my meals, because you want to keep blood sugar up.
Right.
And that I needed to eat. He told me to go down to the mess hall. I did. The cook promptly run me out. So I went up to the, can't think of what you call it. I went up to the main office there. And First Sergeant Top asked me what was wrong. And I told Top, and he, stay here. Hey, I don't want to get nobody in trouble. He says, I'll take care of it. Top went down, and he come back, and he told me, you go down to the mess hall, he'll feed you. I went down to the mess hall, and the cook took me back into the back of the kitchen, opened up the great big doors of the refrigerators, and says, what do you want? I looked at him and I said, I just want something to eat. I said, you got some C rations? Because they got them by the case. That's where they're kept. I said, give me some C rations, some Lurps. He took 2 cases of C rations, put them on the counter, took a case of Lurps and put them on the counter. He says, now what do you want to eat? And I said, no, I just take, First Sergeant will skin me alive. He says, what do you want to eat? And I said, what do you got that's quick and easy? And you know, I got in good with the cooks and the supply sergeants, because having been in the military a bit before I went to flight school, those are 2 people you really want to know and make your life easier. And I've got helicopter rides. So I got adequate trading material, you know. And there's a number of things we're doing where we can take passengers with us. Like, we bring in a VIP, we always call ahead, and their Jeep comes down to pick them up. We had a tanker truck to fill our aircraft. But if you're flying a Huey and it burns a gallon of fuel a minute, you can drain your truck fairly fast. So we'd go over to the Air Force base, or we'd go over to the other side where there was an Army aviation base. We'd fill up there, bring our aircraft back, and then just top it off. At night, we had a mission. Each evening, we'd fly around our base and just keep making circles wider and wider out and look for anything changing or different. And found a lot of interesting things, but a lot of those times I just take my crew chief with me. Well, OH-23, I still got another seat. You want to go and bring your camera? So we do stuff like that, and the guys love going for rides. So many a time I'd go back to my hooch at night, and right by the door would be a brown bag and maybe a a regular carton of milk. And I look in a brown bag, and here'd be fresh cinnamon rolls because the night baker would leave them for me. So in a lot of ways, later it turned out to be great. The cook there finally decided he'd start putting meals and put them on top of the baking oven. And I don't know how many times I come in, he'd just take it off and go, "Oh, you don't want that. It's been here too long." And what else do you want, you know? And I'm going, "Hey, guys, you know, I'm not trying to make work for you." But RHIP, I didn't eat my meals when everybody else did. And I had my share of eating out of cans, and I had my share of missing meals because of a combat situation. But they think it's pretty cool that you just get away with that.
All right. But